Something I've been really wanting to talk about recently is console modding video games. Because even if you don't game on a console, this is still really interesting. Over the last few years, it seems like modding video games on consoles is becoming more and more of a thing, whereas 10 years ago that was sort of unimaginable. People like myself that grew up with, say, an Xbox 360 could only dream of using mods. We would watch YouTube videos about mods for, let's say, Skyrim, and we would just dream of the days that we could grow up and afford to buy our own PC so then we can use mods. But like I said, recently, like over the last, 5-ish years, more and more games are adding console mods. You've got Skyrim, which started it all, and on Xbox has access to thousands of great mods. You can create a pretty insane mod list for Skyrim on Xbox now, and the same goes for Fallout 4, as you can see in the footage, and even Starfield. In fact, one of my most viewed videos is a Fallout 4 Xbox mod load order. And obviously Bethesda games are pretty much made to be modded. Like, you'll never see a more modded game than a Bethesda game, Skyrim especially. It's one of the things that make Bethesda games so replayable, so it makes sense that Bethesda would want to find a way to allow modding on consoles, because they're such a mod-friendly game company. But it isn't just Bethesda anymore, and that's my point. Not too long ago we got Baldur's Gate 3 mods on console, and while they're currently very, very restrictive, there's only a handful of really basic mods on consoles, so even though it is kind of restrictive and there's not many of them, it's still worth noting. And even Stalker 2 have now announced that they want to add console modding support down the line for Stalker 2 after it releases. And even Minecraft has basically got mods on consoles, though this is the absolute worst example because you have to pay for literally every single one of them. But it still happened. Like, Minecraft does still technically have mods, they're just all hidden behind the marketplace. So are console mods becoming the norm? Like, in a few years, is this going to be a normal thing? And that is what I really want to talk about here. Look, I'm primarily a console gamer, I just prefer it, probably because I grew up with the PS1, the PS2, the GameCube, and even a fucking Mega Drive. Like, I grew up with joysticks, essentially. So maybe that's why I do just prefer console gaming, but that's besides the point. The point is that there are plenty of games out there that I would love to get console mod support for. With a few games now getting console mod support, even to the point of games like Stalker 2 that haven't even released yet, saying, yeah, they want to add console support to their mods, like going ahead and planning for it before their game is even out, it does feel like this is slowly, very slowly, becoming more normal. And for a while, you would often see somebody say that they want console mod support for, say, Red Dead Redemption 2, and people would say, mods on console? That's never going to happen. And that person would reply, well, Bethesda's doing it, and they're doing it really well. But that was Bethesda, a company that loves mods and mod creators. Like, it almost made sense for Bethesda, above all other companies, to try and do console modding. But now you can say, well, Bethesda's doing it, yes, but so is Baldur's Gate 3, so is Stalker 2. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and say that game devs now have to follow in these three companies' footsteps and they have to start adding mod support for consoles, not at all. All I'm saying is this looks like it is becoming more and more of a thing, like it's slowly becoming more normal. And I wouldn't be surprised if in, say, 10 years' time, the question, will this game have console mod support, is a regularly asked question for newly announced games. Like, I don't think that we're there yet, and I think that we're a long way off, but it looks like we are getting there very slowly, and that's sort of my point. Really, I think it just comes down to two things: Sony and Microsoft's acceptance of mods on their consoles, and game developers' acceptance of mods. Some devs, again like Bethesda, love mods and will go out of their way to help mod authors create mods, to the point where they will even hire some mod authors. But other devs hate mods. They don't like mods for whatever reason. And then it's not just the game companies, we then have to look at the console companies. Microsoft are clearly 100% okay with mods, considering they allow all and any mods to be ported to console for Skyrim if it's possible, and Fallout 4 and Starfield. However, Sony put a huge restriction on Bethesda for modding Skyrim and Fallout 4. They have mods on their consoles for these games, yes, but they're all extremely basic. You cannot use any outside assets. It's not allowed because of Sony, because that's the restriction that Sony came up with. So pretty much the only mods on PS4 and PS5 consoles for Fallout 4 and Skyrim, besides Creation Club stuff, which is Bethesda's paid mod system, is simple cheat mods, mods that give you a chest full of every item in the game, for example, or a ring that gives you unlimited health and stamina and stuff like that. Look, like I said, I don't think that we're quite there yet. I think that we're at least a decade off, but I really want to hear from you guys. Am I just making this up? Like, do you think that console mods are slowly becoming the norm, or is this just a coincidence that 4 games suddenly have or are getting console mod support now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and of course, if you did enjoy the video, I do kindly ask that you leave it with a like before you go, and consider subscribing if you would be so kind. As usual, a huge, massive thank you to all of our channel members for the support. It means the world as always, so thank you again. But with all of that said and done, we are going to wrap up. So thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.